Hello friends, it is a come with me review, woo! Today I'm gonna go see Piercing. It's not that piercing, it's just called Piercing, just in case I say that wrong, don't take offense. I'm doing a come with me review this time because it was requested from my patrons. I do have a Patreon, link is down below. I don't talk about it very often, but I have it and it's amazing and I love it. For those who do Instagram with me, who do my Instagram live Name That Film challenge I do weekly, I guess twice a week, I finally did up the board, woo! So I'm very excited to do a live with you guys tomorrow, which will have already passed by now, but if you haven't checked that out, I'm on Instagram. Anyway, sorry, 2 promos in like 2 seconds. I just saw that in the background, I just finished doing it. But I'm very excited for this film. Number one, we get it ahead of time. We're getting it ahead of America, which, did you know that the escape room, that's not coming out until March here? So I'm excited when I get one of these. I'm also very excited because this film stars Christopher Abbott and Mia Wasikowska, who is Australian. I'm also excited because the film is directed by Nicolas Pichet, who did The Eyes of My Mother. He hasn't done a lot of directing. He's also doing The Grudge, which I think comes out next year. There's a little bit of talk about when that's coming out. Should be interesting. But for this film, I'm very excited because if you've seen the trailer, it looks very stylized, very unique, very quirky turkey. So it'll be interesting to see if the film is anything like the trailer because the editing in that is pretty intense and very paced. So very interesting. It should be interesting to see if that follows through, and that will be probably my main thing that I want to report back to you guys without spoiling anything. But probably the most exciting thing about this film is the fact that Piercing is based on a novel which was written by the same person who wrote the novel that the film Audition is based on, the Japanese film, which is pretty fucking cutting edge, pretty intense and pushes a lot of boundaries, and I just hope it's gonna be the same kind of, I wouldn't say quirky, you'd call it quirky from Audition, but I think it's definitely pushing the envelope. It's something completely unique and very different, and I really hope that the character in this film is like that because I know I'm in for a ride. I cannot wait to see this film. I'm very excited. This is a 9:15 showing, which very much past my bedtime, but I'm so excited that I get to bring you guys along with me. Spoiler free, let's do it. Guys, I don't normally get scared or anything, but I was just walking to my car, which was parked on the street. Someone was out the front of it doing like a meth dance. If I die, this could be found footage, guys. This could be found footage. Hopefully maybe I'll just keep recording then.
You know the rest. I get the rest.
Yeah, sex with a cat, with a dead cat.
Yeah, ripped it open, stuck it in there. Yeah.
So Kevin's first sexual encounter was with his pet cat after he killed it. Then his first sexual encounter with another human being was with that of his mother's corpse.
Okay, let's get through this without spoiling anything. I don't want to spoil any of the storyline, but I want to get down to the business because there's definitely something that I'm going to warn you guys about with this film, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this film for this one reason. But let's start at the start. Performances, fucking phenomenal. Mia was just like a dream, and they also let her keep her Australian accent, which I was very happy about. And I thought Christopher Abbott was amazing as well. He has a lot of mannerisms in the film, which I think came across really cool and interesting and fun. And he has this really awesome scene when, obviously you guys know what it's about from what I've said at the start. I'm not actually going to expand on that, because it's important that you don't really know what's what's real and what's not real, if that makes sense, without going into detail. But it is about, you know, a guy who's going to go kill a prostitute, and that's all you should know going into it completely, because there's not actually a lot more to it other than, you know, the roadblocks along the way. So I don't want to confuse you or, you know, just spoil anything really. But he was amazing, and he has this really cool scene where he mimics like what he's gonna do to her, and they put all the sound effects in it. They keep it quirks, turks, and I thought it was great. And he's just very clever. Even he was having a conversation with his wife on the phone, and he does that thing where he leans down onto the phone to hang up, and just things like that were really cool touches, really believable, really awesome. But Mia really stole my heart in this film. She was so cute, amazing, realistic, loved her, loved that aspect of it. I thought the acting was amazing. Stylization, it's not as stylized as the trailer, and it's not as, you know, twisty, turny, disturbing, kooky as the trailer lets you believe it is. It does have a lot of split screen. It has a lot of models of houses and things like that, so it's a little bit Wes Anderson in that way. But overall, the stylization, even though there's pops of like really insane weird things here and there, especially at the start, there's like just weird things that catch you off guard, but it's not throughout the whole film. So it's kind of more, as I said, catches you off guard because it's not continuous throughout the film. The stylization very much helped with the quirky aspect of the film, and now I'm talking about not the editing, but actually the mise-en-scene, the coloring and the music, definitely. The coloring was very muted, but very stylish. It's a very swanky movie, and I think that that's something that really makes it appealing visually, obviously. Also, they did include a lot of quirky music in the background, and just to keep up the pace really, and to show some characters' emotions at times. And I thought that was really well done, because it made you feel a little bit off and just a little bit not right when they're playing some kind of upbeat, kind of jazzy, again, quirky music, and it's a very serious scene. So I thought that was clever. I like playing with moods like that, and I really like that directing style. I thought that the storyline was interesting, but I was kind of under the impression this was going to be something I hadn't seen before, and this is definitely a storyline that's not this same exact story has been told, but the idea of the message of the film, I guess, or like the flow of the film has definitely been done before, without ruining it once again. But now I've got to... I don't really want to say this, guys, but I've really got to break it to you, and it's gonna be really hard. The film, the way it ends, is fucking atrocious. I was gonna give this film, as I was sitting in the cinema, I was thinking, oh, probably like a 7 for sure. And then the ending. I'm gonna say this, and it's not a spoiler because you don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna tell you. The film ends really, really abruptly. Like, at the core moment of the film ends. And I think that you guys should be prepared for that. And I think a lot of people are gonna be really mad about it. Not gonna tell you when or where or whatever happens, but it was very disappointing. And a lot of people in the cinema were like, what the and I just know how you guys feel about these kind of films, and I don't think that that's going to bode well. Good things about the film though, again, acting was superb. There is some great shocking moments in there, and there's a lot of blood. It's a very gory movie, so if you're not into gore, I mean, you probably can't watch this. There's a lot more gore than I expected, and I think this is one of those films that people would be like, this isn't horror, but because it has so much blood in it, I think that people are letting it pass. I want to know as well, what do you guys think when people say, this isn't horror? That's not a horror movie. Like, when there's a movie that mainstream media or anyone really loves, all of a sudden it's not allowed to be horror. I hate that shit. I will make a video just on that, ranting about that, because that pisses me off. People piss me off when they talk about shit. Anyway, this is a horror movie. This is the first horror movie I've seen this year, and unfortunately it was very lackluster. It just didn't work. It didn't work. I'm gonna have to admit it. I was trying, like, redeeming it, like walking to the car. Oh, maybe this bit worked, maybe that bit, maybe I was wrong, maybe if I think about this. No, it didn't. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10 for personal. For scare, because of the gore, I think it's really gory. Like, I was wincing at moments. I'm gonna give it an 8. And for the originality, I'm gonna give it a 6, maybe a 5 actually, make that a 5. That was a fun first review for the year, guys. I do recommend seeing it for sure, especially if you just want to see what I'm talking about. But if you have to wait until it comes out on VOD or DVD, whatever you watch it on, I would recommend that as well, because the movie is a little bit awkward, which I love. People in the cinema, we were in a very tight, small cinema. It's definitely a film that it's not scary, but some of the awkwardness can be interpreted into a bit of a weird situation, and make you feel uneasy. And if there's people laughing, it's not a great idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news for the first film of the year. I do want to mention though, if you're in Melbourne, I am going to do a meetup on the 25th of January at 4 p.m. in the city somewhere. The best way to find out the details is to follow me on Instagram and DM me if you're definitely going to come, and I'll make sure to update you with details directly. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, now is the time, guys. I have a lot of cool stuff coming up. Actually, on Tuesday, I have a little video essay. I watched Assassination Nation finally, and it blew me away, and I have a lot of things to talk about, so I'm really excited for that video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wish you good luck watching this film. I really hope that a lot of you guys like it more than I did. Yeah, so sad. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky.